I grew up loving the Capitals. We made the Stanley Cup in like mid-90s, got swept, lost in 4 straight games. And after that, it was just like a nonstop parade of playoff heartbreak for me as a Capitals fan. I would go almost every year. I think I went to like 4 games in a row in the playoffs where we got eliminated. And I didn't go to any games in between that. So I grew to hate the Pittsburgh Penguins. I grew to hate Marc-Andre Fleury, who we'll get to in a little bit because he was a big part of this game too. But the Capitals, they were the closest that I got to tasting success in any team that I rooted for, like as relatively speaking, an adult. So this was like I said, it was the greatest night of my life because some of the stuff that happened after the game was over was even crazier than what happened on the ice that night.
I've heard that you drank from the cup?
I drank from the cup.
I drank from the cup too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What year?
What was it 2011 Bruins?
Bruins, yeah.
Sean Thornton.
Were they pumped to have you around, or was there anybody on the team that was like, "Who's this guy? Why is he here drinking out of the
cup?" It was early in my career, so like they really didn't know who I was, but Sean Thornton he's just a beauty.
Yeah.
As they say in hockey, what is it? He's such a beaut, this guy, and he let me come over and take a little sip of Grandpa's old cough medicine out of the cup.
I love it. There are definitely some guys that were around me that were giving me the side eye, like, who the fuck is this guy drinking out of my Stanley Cup? They just won it like 3 hours before. Some of the guys on the team knew who I was, and I think they were instrumental in helping me get to the place where I was like close enough to the cup to drink out of it. But there were a couple guys that were just like, I think Dmitry Orlov was one. There's a picture. I don't know if you guys have the picture, but I'm drinking out of the cup. I can get to that whole story now, or I can do it later.
We might as well. You're feeling hot. You might as well go. Let's hear it.
So after the game's over, we're in Hakkasan, which is the club at the MGM, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And
been there a couple times.
So I was
family establishment.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Family.
Yeah, definitely some families made in there. After the game was over, I was wearing my shorts that I'd worn to the arena. It was hot out that day. It was classic Vegas weather, probably like 92 degrees, something like that. And I wore shorts to the game. And then after the game was over, one of my friends that was in town was like, "Hey, I'm actually hanging out with Lars Eller and his family. My family has like a relationship with him, so we're invited to their suite after the game." Went up to the suite, hung out, partied there for a little bit. Then we went to Hakkasan, and there were a few Capitals that I was with at the time, and they're like, "Yeah, just come on by. You don't need to like go home or anything. Don't need to change into nicer clothes. Just come to the club." So I show up to the club. I'm wearing shorts. Everybody else is wearing like club outfits, but I came like drenched in beer, just looking like a mess. And the guy at the door, it was like me and I don't know 4 or 5 Washington Capitals and their girlfriends or whatever. And the guy at the door was like, "You can't come in." And I was like, I was halfway expecting that anyways because I'm not on the team. But they were like, "No, dude, you're good. Just go buy a pair of pants and come back, and we'll wait here at the door for you, and we'll get you in." I was like, "Okay, they're trying to get rid of me, so I'll go buy the pants, and then I'll come back. They'll probably be gone, whatever." So then I go on a mission to find pants in Las Vegas, which is harder than you think it might be.
Is it?
Well, if you're inside a casino, inside a hotel.
Yeah, but it's like a mall in the casino. They want you to spend all the money.
But they're not open all night, are they?
Yeah, they're not open all night.
Yeah.
So this was probably like, I don't know, 11:30 at night, something like that. So I walked around. I found the gift shop. The gift shop in the MGM had pants. And I was like, perfect. I don't care what they are. I'm buying them. And I asked the lady, I was like, "Do you have pants here?" She was like, "We have one more pair of pants left." I was like, "I'll buy it." She goes, "Do you want to try it on?" "Nope, I don't care. If they're pants, that's all I need." So she sells me the last pair of pants in the building. There are these giant khakis. They're massive. The waist is probably like a 42 on them. And
you look like Mitt Romney at a Jazz game.
Yeah, exactly. Like just giant flat front.
Yeah.
I put them on and they're just falling off left and right. I'm holding them up with one of the belt loops. The belt loop snaps because I'm pulling up so hard on to keep these goddamn pants on. And I eventually figure out a way. Okay, I'm gonna hold it like this. I'm gonna walk down the hallway. I'm gonna get into the club, no problem. I'm walking down the hallway, and who comes around the corner in the casino but Alex Ovechkin? And he's got the fucking Stanley Cup in his hands. And we almost run into each other. And he's walking, he's like doing this like big strut down the hallway. He's got probably like 50 people following him, like taking pictures. And he's just singing, "I am the champion, my friend." And he like almost walks over me. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, Ovi." So I'm like, where he's going, that's where I'm going. We're going to the same place probably. And so I follow him. They let him in. they don't care what he's wearing. Just because he's got the Stanley Cup, they let him right in. And then the guy stops me again at the door. I was like, I got pants, bitch. And they're like, okay, we'll get you back to the back area where the team is. So I'm hanging out there. There's some people in management at the team that I'd become friendly with over the years. And a couple of the hockey players there recognized me. They're like, okay, yeah, you're coming back, party with us for a little bit. And then a couple minutes later, the pants are falling off. They're just like falling. I can't keep them up. I look ridiculous. And a security guard comes over to me, flashes me with a flashlight in my eye. He's like, excuse me, sir, come with me. I was like, I knew this time would come. I've been kicked out of a lot of places. This feels like one of those situations. So I start following the guy out, and then he sends me over to another security guard who's flashing a light. He's like, this is the guy. And then that security guard flashes his light to another security guard and then escorts me directly behind the stage where Diplo is playing. He's on stage, or no, yeah, I think it was Diplo. He was doing the DJ stuff at Hakkasan for the Capitals. Ovi is like on the mic with him, asking him, hey, play Jesse's Girl, play Jesse's Girl. So Diplo like stops his set. Maybe it was Chesto, I forget. It was one of those one-name guys. And so Ovi's like singing Jesse's Girl as loud as he can. I'm being walked directly behind Ovi as he's like celebrating the time of his life. And then they turn me around the corner and there's the cup right in front of me. And they go, do you want to drink out of it? And I was like, sure. It was filled to the brim with beer. So it was a heavy-ass cup. So I picked it up, and then somebody helped me like from the bottom lift it up. And I take that sip right there that we're looking at, and you can't see from this angle, but the guy in the white shirt, if you scroll up a little bit, the guy in the white shirt right there, his face is cut off. That's Dmitry Orlov from the Washington Capitals. And the look on his face is like, get this guy off my fucking Stanley Cup. Like, he had no idea what I was doing. I still don't know what I was doing there. I think it's that way. Yeah, there he is.
Wow.
There's Dmitry Orlov right there, and he's just fucking furious that I'm drinking out of his cup. And so then I put it down, and then I do get kicked out for a second because one of the players or one of the guys back there thought that some random guy just ran up and drank out of their Stanley Cup. So they kicked me out momentarily. Then I got brought back in for the rest of the party. It was a wild night,
Who snapped the picture?
Just some random guy that was there. And so he was a listener of part of my take. He was like, oh, fuck, it's PFT. I was like, dude, I'm about to drink out of the cup. Can you please take a picture for me? And so he took that picture. I got his number. I got the text from like 2 hours later. I didn't think I was going to end up with any evidence of it whatsoever. But yeah, one of the craziest moments of my life right there for sure.
Can we talk about leading up to this? Because you hate the Penguins with a passion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Crosby and Ovechkin drafted together, two of the best of all time. I mean, can you go through just your hatred?
Yeah, I mean, it was like every year it seemed like they would bounce us out. And we were always the two best teams out of the East. But the way that the NHL playoffs are set up, they don't really protect. It's more about like the separating the divisions from each other and how the brackets are set up. So it was like every year we would play the Penguins in the second round, it felt like. And we just had a lot of really heartbreaking losses to them. I remember 2009, 2010, where the series went back to DC for Game 7. I was really pumped for that, and they scored like 6 goals on us in the first period. There's just been like a lot of times where it was like the Capitals are the best team in the entire NHL during the regular season, and then we're going to get to the playoffs and we're going to run into the hottest goalie ever. It was always like that. One time that happened with Henrik Lundqvist. We were better than the Rangers, and we lost to them.
He's just too handsome.
He's too handsome.
He's
I agree.
a hot man.
He's really good looking.
Everybody named Hank, I feel like, is just an absolute lady killer these
Team
days.
Hank, baby.
Team Hank.
Team Hank.
Hank Hill, not really.
No, Hank Hill could
He
get
wasn't.
it.